Once made millions of dollars from the law, he is now wanted by the law.
An arrest warrant has been issued for arguably the most famous attorney in our area, Stan Chesley.
It is money that comes largely from settlements with a number of companies whose building materials may have caused some of the 165 deaths here in May of 1977.
There is no question this was a tragedy that should not have occurred. When there's a tragedy like this, there's no compensation that you can get to ever take away the hurt and the pain.
And though the lawsuits may now be over, the Beverly Hills legacy remains in communities across the tri-state.
There will no longer be billboards. There will no longer be Joe Camel. There will no longer be the Marlboro Man. The Marlboro Man has just ridden out of town on Joe Camel. There will be no more vending machines, and we're going to reduce kids smoking. I will tell you that I was honest as you named.
Chesley, who was known as the master of disaster for winning so many class action lawsuits, starting with the Beverly Hills Supper Club fire in the 1970s,
we have a great number of individuals that we're going to be filing on behalf of, and then we're going to be filing on behalf of a class, because what we believe is that these people need medical monitoring, and that medical monitoring should start as soon as possible.
Lies, greed, bamboozle, deceit, all of those harsh words included in the report by the trial commissioner William Graham. The 29-page report is the conclusion after a lengthy investigation with hearings, testimony, and exhibits. The report states that Chesley was involved in the scheme to take millions from the settlement with the maker of Fen-Phen and keep it for the lawyers rather than rightly give it to the hundreds of clients. The drug became very popular in the 90s for weight loss, but lawsuits soon followed when there was a connection to heart problems for some people taking the drug. The commissioner recommends to the Kentucky Bar Association that it disbar Chesley for his actions in not telling clients how much they would receive and for making a deal with the judge to give attorneys almost half of the settlement agreement worth $200 million. Chesley's attorneys issued a statement today saying, "We are surprised by and disappointed with the report of the trial commissioner. We respect the trial commissioner as a jurist. We disagree with his findings of fact and his opinion. His findings are directly contrary to the findings of federal authorities who fully investigated this case and never considered Mr. Chesley a target of their investigation. We will therefore appeal his recommendation." The commission report says that Chesley should also return the $7.6 million, part of the money that he received from the settlement. The appeal process now goes to the Kentucky Bar Association and its Board of Governors.
The Supreme Court tonight has disbarred one of the best-known attorneys in the tri-state, even in the nation, Stan Chesley. The action stems from the Fen-Phen diet pill lawsuit, which alleged the drug could damage heart valves. Attorneys in the case were accused of keeping most of the $200 million settlement for themselves. The judge who approved the arraignment was later found to be on the payroll of a charity supported by some of the attorneys, although not Chesley. Chesley says his role in the case was as an advisor. The Kentucky Bar Association recommended Chesley lose his law license, and today the Kentucky Supreme Court agreed.
Chesley is often called the father of the class action lawsuit. He pioneered its use in the 1977 Beverly Hills Supper Club fire, which killed 165 people in Southgate. Other high-profile cases Chesley fought include the suit against Pan Am for the Lockerbie terror attack over Scotland and Dow Corning over breast implants. In recent years, he spearheaded the campaign to keep Cincinnati public pools open during the summer, when the city planned to close them during budget cuts.
This is probably one of the most important things for our community. Last year, there were 234 visits at the pools. Way over 100 to 150,000 kids.
An attorney for Stan Chesley issued a statement today. It reads in part, Chesley is disappointed with the court's decision to impose such a severe sanction, especially in light of its finding that it is not shown that he had specific knowledge of the deception practiced on each client by the other lawyers.
High-profile attorney Stan Chesley is now countersuing 5 of his former clients and their lawyer to stop them from collecting millions from him. Chesley and 3 other lawyers were ordered to pay the former clients from the Fen-Phen drug case a settlement for overcharging legal fees. Chesley's lawsuit claims that he doesn't know who he should pay and what amount to. And he's asking a Hamilton County Common Pleas Judge, Robert Ruhlman, to block them from collecting. The opposing lawyer is now asking the Ohio Supreme Court to move the case to federal court because she fears Chesley is trying to get rid of his assets so his creditors can't collect.
Indeed, Chesley failed to show up for a scheduled court hearing in Boone County yesterday. That hearing regarding money Chesley owes some clients he allegedly bilked, and Judge James Schran issued the warrant to have Chesley arrested. Yesterday, Chesley was supposed to explain why she'd not be held in contempt of court for not paying about $650,000 of that money, as Judge Schran had ordered. Now, I spoke with the lawyer for Chesley's clients, Angela Ford of Lexington. She told me she was not surprised Chesley failed to show because of his conduct throughout the case and his failure to comply with other court orders. Now, I have a call to Chesley's lawyer to ask, and really, who would have ever expected to say this thing? I want to know, will Chesley turn himself in? Who would have thought you'd ever say that? Perhaps get the warrant, try to get the warrant thrown out. Back to you.
Well, because he was disbarred in Kentucky, Chesley likely would have been disbarred in Ohio as well, but voluntarily gave up his license. He is married to federal Judge Susan DeLotte.